Shalom Israel. First, I want to give all honors, praise, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, bahasham, raka, quadash. Double honors into the elder bishops of GMS Great Millstone who help me sharpen my iron in this truth. And shalom to you hopeful elect out there fighting a good fight. I'm going to do a quick video on Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is a time that's going to be coming about us. It's a future prophecy written about long ago. And we're coming into the times where it's about to start setting up. I believe the elder apostle Tahar said that 2024 is going to be a very prophetic year, and it means of the MOTB being pushed and everything setting up the way it's supposed to set up. Because you really think about it, the balls are playing right now. The ball's rolling. You know, if you look at if you're being retrospect, like, well, you have to be in this truth. Or no, Shalaki, if you're being circumspect, as the elder apostle Gabar references, you have to be circumspect, you have to question, you have to be vigilant. What is that scripture in I believe it's Peter's? So be sober, be vigilant. You know, we got to be vigilant. We have to be in the right mind to look around and see what's going on, and be ye not negligent to Satan's devices. Right? We understand these things, and we're on a level spiritually that, you know, we're kind of getting over that curve and understanding that this prophecy is about to take place pretty soon. And it's a great thing that prophecy is about to take place. You know, only thing you can do at this point is just pray and give supplication to the Lord and keep doing his work, because at the end of the day, once the ball's rolling, the ball's rolling. Right? So I'm going to start it off with Jeremiah, the 30th chapter and the 10th verse. And it says, "Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from after, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid." This is referring to the Lord's elect being not afraid in those times. Being not afraid in those times is actually going to help us a multitude of different ways. You know, I believe it's in Job that says we shall even laugh at them dying of famine. We'll laugh at people dying of famine, you know? We'll not think anything of it. Proverbs, the first chapter, I believe it's around the 22nd verse. You know, we'll laugh at their calamity. Calamity meaning destruction, right? Because there's times coming up that if you're not a part of the Lord's congregation, you know, and you're not a part of the 144 chosen people, right? It's going to be tough out here for you. It's going to be extremely tough, because famine's going to hit. You know, multiple people are going to die of famine. And if you're not dying of famine, the scriptures literally say it's going to, you'll die by the sword, because people are trying to get food, you know? If it's, think about being a 2/3 and shit, and you out there, you leaning on your own understanding, which the Lord instructs you not to do, but people are sottish, you know, and you think that a gun and some fucking rice bags are going to save you in the end times. What are you going to do when this big, angry-ass Edomite that has 5 kids to fucking feed and shit in the end times, just famine? You think he's not going to come up and just jack your fucking Jake ass, you know? That's the thing, and that's honestly what's going to happen. You know, the Lord is not slack. The Lord is not slack with his promise, and neither is his words void, referring to Isaiah the 55th chapter. None of these words shall go void. There are no empty threats that the Lord makes, you know, because the Lord's ways are higher than our ways, referring to Isaiah 55 as well. The Lord's ways are much higher than our ways. You know, we'll never be on his level. He is the most high for a reason, you know, and yahawashi Mashiach is in his like image, you know. Right, so I'm going to go down to the 16th verse, and it says, "Therefore, all they that have devoured thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they shall spoil thee, shall be amongst, and they shall prey upon thee, and will give, and I will give Salakia for a prey." Right? So it's going to flip, you know. In the end times, it's going to, not in the end times, but it's going to be crazy for a little bit. But it's going to flip. The rulership is going to flip. It's going to get whole new management. It's going to be a completely different fucking thing. And it's a beautiful thing as well, because the Lord's people have been worn out. The Lord's people have been worn out extremely to the bone, right? And honestly, it's about time that this shit gets flipped upside down, because how wicked they are. Let me try to get a Jacob's. Shalaki, I wanted to start off with Jeremiah 30:7. It talks about actually the name Jacob's trouble. It says, alas, for that day is great, and so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Being saved out of it, that's the Lord's elect, right? That's the Lord's elect that's going to happen. You know, and you keep reading down, we got all the way to the 16th verse, and it says, and they shall devour, and therefore all that devour, they shall be devoured, right? And that's the fucking beast. The beast is Esau, Edom, you know, EU, all them, the beast. You know, the fucking blood, the bloodline of Esau, Edom. You know, they shall be devoured in that times, right? And ultimately, the only people going to be saved, the only people going to have that grace is the Lord's people. Isaiah 65 in the 13th chapter, you know? We're going to be able to be helped out of that. And let me get a 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Got it right here. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Right? And let me get that in the NIV to help elaborate that. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. NIV says, Most High is just, he will pay back trouble to those who troubled you. So Esau, Edom is going to get it in the end times. You know, those that trouble the Most High's people. Because ultimately, that's what the Most High says is going to happen. And it's going to happen. These people think that they can get away from what it is that they've done to the Lord's people. And think that they can kind of just ride off into the fucking sunset like something sweet. But it's not sweet. It is definitely not a sweet thing. Right? And then even go deeper into the fact that Esau Edom is going to be fucked in Jacob's trouble. I think I'm going to put that as the title, or Big E, I don't know, something like that in Jacob's trouble. Because they're fucked, man. You know, the Lord even tells his people to meditate on, Slaki, I can't remember the name of it, I can't remember the verse. But we're going to meditate on judging these people, man. Meditate on that. So I'll get it later if I find it. I'll put it in the description. Slaki, I can't get it right now. In Isaiah the 14th chapter 21, it says, preparing slaughter for his children for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor face of the world with cities. Right? So in those end times, they're going to be fucked on so many different levels. You know, we're preparing for the slaughter of his children for the iniquity of the fathers. Right? These Esau, Edom, their fucking seed is going to get it, man. They're going to get it, and they're going to get it in the worst way. Right? You can't sit there and lean upon these people and love them at all. They're fucked. I don't know why these other camps, and you know, the only camp that's really pushing this 100% truth is GMS Great Millstone. You know, get right with it or don't. You know, that's just the Lord putting His Spirit on you to be able to understand that. There's no holes. There's no Swiss cheese camps and shit. You know, we don't got the fucking Swiss cheese, or I don't know how many cheeses have holes in it, but you know what I'm saying? Like the Diary of the Wimpy Kid, fucking cheese, you got a bunch of holes in it. You know? Get right with it or don't, you know? Because that's the truth. This is the 100% truth, right? We understand that Esau Edom's fucked. Any other camp is teaching that the Esau Edom's going to be okay in the end times. And trust me, there are going to be people, they're called tares, and they're called tares, and the Lord's elect people, right? There's going to be people that you think are Jakes that are actually Edomites or are actually a different nation. But there's going to be people of other nations that you think are the other nations, but they're actually not. You know, they're actually Jakes, you know, because that goes on the lineage. And that's why the Lord tells us to not fall upon these pedigrees, because they're inaccurate. They don't understand them, right? But, you know, that's all I have to say. Esau Edom's fucked in the end times. And, you know, all praise, honor, and glory to yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, raka, quadash. And shalom to you brothers out there.